In the absence of having access to the single market and not being recipient to such funds, the government needs to very carefully consider how different models will work to establish businesses and sustain businesses. Businesses will tell me, I'm sure, that their biggest concern will be the frontier. In the first place, thousands of cross-border workers come in to carry out jobs. In addition, of course, you have many industries that rely on the custom and consumers also coming in through the border. But also, of course, there will be industries that particularly relied on access to the European Union for their particular services. And to that extent, we will wish to consider how, in the absence of the European market, we can reposition our economy so that those businesses stay, and not just stay, but of course are as successful as they were as we are now, in fact, still part of the European Union.
And what do you feel could be the advantages of Brexit to small businesses in Gibraltar?
Well, I think that will depend entirely on the agreement struck between the UK and the European Union. Although entirely speculative at this point, if you read UK articles, and I'm currently glued to the Guardian website, you will see that there's already talk about permitting a very large extent of access into the EU market, and even curbing migration, which was, as you know, the main political bugbear of people who voted to leave. And there are signs already, slowly starting to emerge, that there is talk of considering some model, not exactly a Norway model, not exactly a Switzerland model, but what would obviously be a UK model that allows as much access to the European Union market. And remember that the UK economy is predominantly a services market. So the UK market does require access into the EU market for services, professional services and financial services, as do we. So depending on the package that is eventually agreed, which, as you know, the UK government has said that Gibraltar will be locked in, I think that between that and, of course, then us being able to regulate our system in a way that perhaps we may not have been able to in the past because of EU regulations, I am quietly very confident that we will be able to position our economy to take into effect the shock of the exit from the EU, and also to look at the opportunities that will undoubtedly arise.
So the referendum was this time kind of last month almost. Are you feeling more positive than you were last month for the future of small businesses here on the Rock?
I am because the Chief Minister and the Deputy Chief Minister have met with Theresa May before she became Prime Minister. That meant that she actually made time from out of her very busy day to send a very clear signal to Britain, to Gibraltar and to Spain that she's fully on board with the concerns of Gibraltar. The Deputy Chief Minister and the Chief Minister have also met with the Foreign Secretary. We've met with the First Minister for Scotland, and there has been a debate in Parliament where it has been said by the Minister for Brexit that a common market between Gibraltar and the UK is being studied as a matter of urgency to protect and safeguard those businesses that face the UK. So whereas there's no doubt that we are not in a position that neither I nor the government nor 96% of Gibraltarians wanted to be in, I also very much believe that out of every problem there are equal and sometimes even better opportunities. And certainly given the way that the government and indeed the whole of Gibraltar is working together to make sure that we don't miss out on any opportunities, I'm confident that our resilience, which I think is very much a Gibraltarian trait, since when the dockyards were closed in the 1980s and Gibraltar thought they were without the main industry, and we were able to make Gibraltar into the prosperous, affluent nation that it is today, I'm sure we will achieve the same feat now.